Hi, this is David Matthew with our group week 4 submission for Gauntlet AI. This is the MVP. The product we came up with was to automate writing technical documentation, technical sales documentation for solutions engineers using a cursor-like interface to be able to have more granular control of generating those documents for each prospect. So I'll just walk through the flow of the front end, how it works, and then I'll go into some detail about the parts that I implemented. So let's go. So we can sign up or log in. Auth is working. And when you come in, you have an account dashboard. Each account is one of your prospects. And so say you had a new prospect that you wanted to onboard. Okay, and then the contact person could be me. Let's say it's 500,000 and they're just checking things out. So then your account shows up here. On this stage, each account, if you're familiar with a sales funnel, it'll go from discovery to increasingly more like invested stages where they're getting closer to buying the product. So we track that in the UI. Here you can upload your contextual files. So this would be like correspondence with the prospect, like emails or phone transcripts, and then that gets loaded as context, and that would be listed down here. That gets stored in the back end. I'll go into more detail with that later. And that will be used as context for generating these documents. So we're going to create a document. We'll just call it statement of work. And then here is the document editor. You can write whatever you want. You can, it has some nice formatting for rich text editing. Then here is the AI assistant, and we can ask it. We're going to switch to agent mode. I'm going to try asking it, please generate a statement of work document. And I know this one works, so that'll be the backup, but let's see how this does. And so in the back end, this is talking to LangGraph Cloud, and it goes through some tool calls. I'm not sure if it's displaying on the front end or not, but I think there's at least a couple tool calls at this point. And there you go. So it generates it. Further work we need is to show the tool calls happening here, such as referring to specific emails or correspondence that's happened in the past, or specific documents for the account. Being able to highlight a section and say, can you change this to have, this style, things like that. Maybe in a different type of document that goes more into the technical architecture of the solution. Maybe it would be saying like, refer to this document, solution architecture diagram, and form a description of it here. So these are the kinds of things we're looking at. And that's where the front end is right now. And And for future work, we're looking at, just expanding on the tool calls that will be implemented in the back end to make it more sophisticated. But the front end and the back end itself with CRUD operations on the database are pretty fleshed out at this point. For work that I did, Ben worked mostly on the front end, I worked on the back end, and Nick worked on the AI agent. And I'm just going to go to cursor to show some of the planning that went into that. So figuring out a tech stack, we decided we would use Supabase mainly, with serverless functions mainly. We decided that what we want to do, there's a difficulty in determining how we want the three components to communicate with each other. So we've got the Supabase layer, which is just updating the database. We've got the front end client server making requests. And then we also have the LangGraph server, which is the AI agent interface. And so what we decided after consulting with with Gemini is we generally want the client to talk to the agent LangGraph. We want LangGraph to be updating the database with the chat completions, with updating documents and so forth. And then we want those changes to the database rows to be pushed back to the client to update the client. And there's some trade-offs there, but we thought that made the most sense. We fleshed out what the database tables should look like. We implemented auth and all those things that are baked into Supabase. And generally speaking, we implemented or at least I as a part of the team implemented all of the CRUD operations to operate the front end correctly. So that's it. Thank you, and looking forward to continuing.